So the Tsarnaev brothers, as everybody knows, are alleged to have done the bombings in Boston. I say alleged because I'm supposed to, but come on, keep it real, they did it. So now Tamerlan is dead. He was the older one. He's the one that seemed to have organized all of this. And Dzhokhar is the younger one who's now in custody. There was a great piece of irony there, which I actually think was Freudian, when after Tamerlan got shot by the authorities, Dzhokhar, his younger brother, ran him over with a car. They're not sure which one killed him. I think that there was a little bit of Dzhokhar like, oh, thanks for getting me into this mess. I appreciate it. Oh, did I accidentally run you over? So sad. Okay, but that's just me with an interesting theory on that particular part. Now, the one thing that everybody else was sure is they're Islamic jihadists. And they had good reason to believe that. There were writings about Islam and how angry they were at America, etc. But it turns out, according to Panorama, which is on BBC, they might have had other inklings as well, specifically Tamerlan, who seems to have organized the bombings. Tamerlan Tsarnaev, they said, subscribed to publications espousing white supremacy and government conspiracy theories. Now, this might be blowing people's mind. Well, I don't get it, they're Muslim. How could they believe in white supremacy? Well, that's because they're white. After the bombings, I know a lot of the right-wing sites came out and said, aha, we knew they weren't white. They're from the Caucasus. That would literally make them Caucasians. So can you be Muslim and white at the same time? Of course! The whitest people in the world I've seen as Muslims, Germans, Scandinavians, etc. Islam is a religion. It's not an ethnicity. I know facts are hard to keep up with if you're a right-winger, like the Tsarnaev brothers. Now, how is it that they could be right-wing and Muslim at the same time? Newsflash number 2. You know that the Muslim bombers are the most right-wing people in the world? That within Islam, they're the very end of the right-wing spectrum. You think progressives go do bombings? No. Progressives are in favor of secularism in the Muslim world. It's the right-wingers and the fundamentalists that do the bombings. So why would it be surprising that he's a right-winger in America and he's a right-winger in the Islamic world? He's a right-winger. Okay? So, quote, Panorama discovered that Tamerlan Tsarnaev possessed articles which argued that 9/11 and the 1995 Oklahoma City bombing were government conspiracies. Now, that's ironic. It's almost the inception of irony. There's an irony within an irony. He believes in government conspiracy theories and then does a bombing, which then later spawns other government conspiracy theories. Okay. Now, how about the Second Amendment? Apparently, that's the one thing he believed in America. He said that he was concerned about, quote, the rape of our gun rights. Now, he had plenty of guns and he had plenty of bombs, and he wound up using them. So again, there's a little bit of irony there. I can't believe the government would want to take my weapons away. Yeah, if anybody should have had their weapons taken away, it was you. If you make that argument, it turns out the government would have been right. So, now, at the same time, he was also concerned about what America was doing in Muslim lands. Quote, there was also material about U.S. drones killing civilians and about the plight of those still imprisoned in Guantanamo Bay. So, both things appear to be true. In fact, if you remember, there's no question, because Dzhokhar wrote in the boat that he was hiding in, quote, we Muslims are one body. You hurt one, you hurt us all. So the reality is they were extreme no matter what bracket they fell into. They fell into the white bracket, they fell into the Muslim bracket, they fell into the right-wing bracket, and they were extreme in every one of those brackets. And what really drove them to it, to me, this was the best line out of the BBC report. Quote, the brothers' friends told us that Tamerlan turned against the country and became passionate about Islam after becoming frustrated when his boxing career faltered because he did not have American citizenship. I read that line and I thought, bingo. Here's a guy who was a total loser. And he couldn't get anywhere, and he had to rely on his wife, which, you know, that happens from time to time. Nothing wrong with that if you get back up on your feet instead of doing a terrible bombing that kills so many people and wounds hundreds of people, right? And then your boxing career is going nowhere. You get bitter that you're not an American citizen. And so then you turn and you're like, ah, yeah, I hate America. Man, I want to be in it so bad, but they won't let me. Oh, I hate it. Plus, I love the Second Amendment. Yeah, I need my guns. I hate left-wingers, and I hate American government, yeah. You hate yourself. And that's what really, this guy was full of hate, wanted to project that out into the world, and that's what led him to do the bombing in the first place. And all the rest of those check-off boxes are all about finding an excuse for him to strike out and lash out at the world as he did, because he actually hated himself. Now, look, you can say it's too much pop psychology. It doesn't really matter because he's dead, and Jihar should go to prison for the rest of his life at a minimum, right? But to me, and here you could even say I'm excusing the right-wingers, like that it's not really the right-wingers' fault that they happen to be right-wingers. It's not really even the extreme Muslims' fault because they happen to be extreme Muslims. I mean, I got my bones to pick with both of those things. But the reality is the guy's crazy and angry and a loser. And that's the main reason they did it. And then they found an excuse for it.